Good morning, g'day, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name's Craig Whitney. I'm the founder of Next Level Coaching and your host for the Legacy Forge podcast. How are we today? We are doing well despite these global events, what's going on in the world at the moment with resource shortage, the behaviours of leaders. I'm not happy about. It's causing a bit of a stir. I'm not happy about the media causing the stir, the paranoia, the panic buying. I was doing my grocery shopping today with my lovely dear partner of mine, Marina, and it was a snatch and grab almost. It was like something out of a zombie apocalypse movie. At midday, people were just going nuts in Woolworths, panic buying, and you could tell by the behaviours and what's in their shopping trolley that it wasn't a regular, routine fortnightly shop. I mean, me and Marina, we budget our groceries, so we do 3 to 4 weekly shop at a time. So 21 days, one cycle, and then a month on the next. Because she doesn't really like shopping, and I just don't have the patience myself for it. So that's how we do it, and we get by. And she's a creative little sort who loves to cook and create all sorts of tasty things out of 2 to 3 ingredients. And I just pray to the world at the moment that we are bracing for a winter. We're coming into a winter for the next, I'd say, 6 months, as the world leaders play a game of chess at other people's expense. Livelihoods, lives, jobs, industries. Be smart. Just be smart out there. Prepare yourself. Things like, don't let your petrol tank go under half a tank, or diesel. I mean, we're sitting at diesel prices at $3.20, I think I've seen today. And I'm not driving at the moment. I'm off the road, particularly because I can't budget 3 tanks of diesel. That's 240 litres a week of diesel at $3.20 a litre, plus pay $700 a week rent on one income and eat and survive at the same time. I just can't do it. It's just not feasible to be running a truck at that prices. Yeah, it worked out. It's nearly it's just under $700 a week diesel that I'm going through. And this is out of a 2-ton van. So I'm very compassionate towards truck drivers who are doing $3,000 and $4,000 a week in diesel. But when you're on an average commission cycle of $1,800 to $2,200 a week, and the average job pays between $12 and $25, and you're doing about 8 or 9 jobs a day, and then getting topped up to a minimum of about $250 a day to $280, it doesn't pay, man. It's not worth it. So I'm just holding out at the moment, and I'm just praying to the world that we change behaviours very soon. Yeah. That brings us on to today's episode. Now, for all those joining me on the video, great. If not, like and subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube for the video. We continue the quest down the Arete Pyramid, or the Arete method. Excellence of just being. Pretty interesting, right? Just being. In a current world of panic. Makes you think, doesn't it? Behaviours. Panic is here. Ego. The safety mind is kicked in. Soul is being present. A lot of people don't understand the difference. So today's episode, we move into behaviours, not the surface level habits, not the morning routines, that are copied off a Goggins highlight reel. The Greeks had a sharper language model to this. And I'm going to read this because my pronunciation, I might get this wrong, yeah? So there's two parts to it. There's praxis, Praxis, which means action in motion, what you actually do in the real world, and ethos, the character revealed through repeated behaviour. And I've seen ethos threaded through different personal development models, yeah? Here's the truth most miss. You don't build character first and then act. You act. And those actions repeated over time become your character. In the franchising world, you buy a system, right? You buy already established ethos. You come into that ethos as your own ethos. You take on that ethos. However, the key is to find your voice within that ethos. So it's not changing the system, as I get criticized a lot for. No, the system's there for a reason. It works, right? It works. You wouldn't buy McDonald's and then go change the system to turn it into Pizza Hut. No, the system works for a reason. Yeah? You take it already going Jesse and you find your voice within the system because your clients don't buy the system. The system itself is 20%, right? The other 80% is you. They buy you. Yeah, they buy you. The home service sector, that wow factor. When you have your lawn done, it looks wow. Like, you serious? Like, you did that? You mowed the lawn, you trimmed the edges, you weeded my garden, you cleaned the rubbish, you clipped me trees, and my garden's just wow. Right? Some people say it's going above and beyond. It is. And it's also, if you're a creative type, you will, naturally. You will. You will find your creative genius within the system. And it's generally those creative geniuses who give those exponential wow factors to their clients. And this is where they close higher paying jobs. Yeah. Other trade businesses, a plumber, plumbers can do HVAC, aircon, home services franchise, dog wash is a beauty. I've been learning a lot about dog grooming and dog wash these last sort of 4 to 6 weeks, and I've been finding it very interesting. One, people spend more money on their freaking dogs than they do themselves, right? So there's a money-making machine. That includes vets, right? You never know how expensive a dog is until you got to take it to a cancer ward, yeah? And then that's when the true expenses hit in, yeah? But people do it. A lot of money in pets, a lot of money. And dog grooming, dog wash, again, it's that wow factor. Now, the dog wash system that I'm involved with, it looks pretty standard. It's simple. It's a simple rinse and repeat franchise system. Yet a lot of people miss it. They get caught up in the doing. Yeah, the doing, the SOPs, just follow the system. Yeah, and that works. That works. You follow that behavior, you repeat that behavior here, and you will get the result of the system, which is borderline mandatory anyway. However, if I am to find my voice within that system and add my creative expertise, in other words, I go and get specialized training in the dog grooming industry from elite show groomers, the best of the best, right? How do you think that skill's going to turn into my business? Do you think the dog's going to look better? You think I'm going to be able to groom dogs a bit better? You think my customer service is going to change? Of course. I'm going to turn an average groom of, say, $90 with a wow factor in my expertise because I've gone an inch wide, a mile deep in this sector. I'm now an expert. My customers are going to pay tenfold for me. They're going to come to me for my expert opinion. That's the difference in behavior. You act, right? Act in the system. You repeat the system over time. You build your character within the system. And I'm speaking to franchisees at the moment because that is my target market. And I will be leaning this podcast slightly towards that sort of lens in coming episodes. But that's just a hypothetical example. Everyone else is welcome. Yeah. Franchisees and small business owners, we all kind of suffer the same demons thereabouts, except, the difference between a franchisee and a solopreneur is a franchisee's bought the plane and learning to fly the thing, where a solopreneur is just jumping and building the plane and learning to fly at the same time. Yeah. In ancient times, there were roads carved not by design, but by use. Thousands of footsteps over years were a path into the earth. No single step created it, but every step reinforced it. That's behaviour. Praxis is the step, ethos is the path. And eventually, that's right, eventually the path becomes the only way you walk. Now we'll look at the illusion of discipline. I need more discipline, people say. I need better habits. I need consistency. No, you don't. You need alignment between what you say and what you repeatedly do. Stop talking shit and do something. Actions speak louder than words. Don't talk about getting fit. Do something towards getting fit. Pick a movement exercise and repeatedly do it each day. I do the 75 hard, so I train twice a day. I've been doing it, I'm up to 8 years, 9 years now. It's discipline, repeated behavior over time. I will not start my day unless I have trained. Okay? And as to someone I look up to as a coach, if you're not looking after yourself, improving your health, you are not a respected coach because you have not earned the right to be followed. I had a coach call me out on that a few years ago. I was 181 kilos. I was obese. I was fat. I was depressed. And I wanted to be a men's coach. And I had a man, I love him for his soul. I still love him to this day. He said, Craig, you're fat. No man's going to respect you. No matter how good you are in your head skill, no matter how much you know, you look like shit. You're fat. You're fat. No man's going to follow you. You got to earn your respect. You got to earn the right to be followed. Not from this. The sophists are the good talkers. The doers earn the right to be followed. That's what we need more of, doers, yeah? You can claim, I value growth, I value family, I value health, but your praxis tells a real story. Your calendar, your bank account, your daily habits or your patterns, that's your ethos, yeah? Give me a look at your 5 closest people you spend time with, and I will tell you whether or not you will be successful or not. I'm learning some very valuable skills off JT Fox, some surgical precision skills. I'm almost at a point where I can tell if someone will be successful or not. I'm not there yet, but I'm almost at the point of being able to tell someone whether they'll be successful or not within 20 minutes. That's how confident I am that I believe in this model. Yeah? I'm not here to meander people. I'm not here to bullshit people either. I have my own style. It's not as blunt as some of the other coaches that I associate with, but that's because I'm very observatory and I can hold the space a little bit cleaner than some others. And I don't fuck around with people's story. It's not where we need to go. If you feel you need to share your story, well, maybe a counselor is better for you than a coach or a psychologist. Yeah. So this is where it gets dangerous. Behavior becomes automatic. Repetition wires the nervous system. You don't think your way into actions anymore. You default into patterns. That's why people stay stuck. Not because they lack knowledge, not because they lack intention, but because their praxis is already programmed. Doing something once is effort. Doing something repeatedly is identity reinforcement. The boring, mundane, repetitious stuff that drives us crazy. Going to the gym, doing those squats, those boring, mundane exercises, running the same track, lifting squats, those boring, mundane exercises, yeah? Every action casts a vote towards the person you say you want to be or towards the person you've always been. And over time, those votes compound. Now let this land into the Arete Pyramid, yeah? Praxis and ethos is what you do repeatedly. Then through your actions, leadership, how others experience you, and your legacy is what remains after you, your essence. Or as Marcus Aurelius, and I'll paraphrase this because I keep forgetting the quote, is the mark of the human flame, the indent of the human flame. Yeah? Capability without behavior is useless. You can have the skill, you can have the knowledge, but if praxis isn't aligned, nothing changes. So some quick questions here. Write them down. What behaviors are you repeating that are you reinforcing the wrong identity? Where are your daily actions contradicting your stated values? What patterns do you fall back on when no one is watching? And what would someone conclude about you if they observed your actions, not your intentions? That's your ethos. Praxis is choices in motion. Ethos is identity in evidence. Praxis is what you do today, now. Ethos is who you become tomorrow. And here's an uncomfortable reality. You don't become what you think about. You become what you repeatedly do. If your current behaviors stayed exactly the same for the next 12 months, who would you become? Not who you hope to be. Not who you talk about being. Flap the gums, right? Who would you inevitably become? Because the arete descent doesn't reward intention. It rewards alignment in action. That's right. And if your praxis is off, your entire structure, I'll use the word drifts. Okay? Does that land for today? Alrighty. So this is the episode on behaviours or praxis and ethos as the Greek terminology. I will drop a 3-minute burnout blind spot audit for you. Simple 11 questions, 3 minutes. Just answer the question subconsciously. Don't think, just do. Book a call with me. Let's have a 30-minute conversation and let's just connect. Have a connection and see if we can work together. If this resonates or any of my podcasts resonates. Alrighty, guys, we'll keep these ones a little bit shorter and sweeter. Like and subscribe, Spotify, Apple, and YouTube for the video. And until next episode, bye for now. Because Arete is the excellence of just being. Bye for now, guys.